You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys. So salute everybody that's tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, as y'all come in the building, man. Appreciate everybody who's been supporting the channel. All y'all that's been sending donations, man, showing love to what I do and the content. I appreciate y'all. And man, we got to get into this, man, as I got some breaking news for you guys. As Suge Knight, again, Suge Knight, Marion Suge Knight, you guys, uh, is set to testify in this Tupac murder trial. Again, Suge Knight uh, is set to testify. Wow, in an explosive set of events. Explosive set of events. Uh, he is set to testify now. And this is wild, bro. I could not believe when I saw this story. The murder trial is starting on the 10th of this month for Tupac Shakur, you guys. And again, Marion Suge Knight is now set to testify in this murder trial. As you guys see, unbelievable, man. Suge Knight has emerged as a key witness, according to the reports out of allhiphop.com, in a Tupac murder trial, you guys. Also, let me shout out these people. Shout out to Eddie Calloway with the donation. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Craig Tillman with the donation, Davita Robinson, Tara Moses, Darlene Sermons, all of you guys with donations in the Cash App. I appreciate all of y'all for showing love to the channel, man. Appreciate y'all. But back to this situation with Suge Knight. As Suge Knight, you guys, bro, I can't believe this shit, bro. Suge Knight is testifying in this trial. Wow, bro. I'm be honest with y'all, man. I am stunned. I am stunned. I am stunned, bro. Because he pushed his book back. His book was supposed to come out. So the book got pushed back as if they were saying to not affect the trial. But now they saying that Suge Knight in the reports has emerged as a key witness. The question is for who? Wow, bro. So it says Marion Suge Knight has been named on the official witness list for the upcoming murder trial of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused of orchestrating the 96 drive-by shooting of rap icon Tupac Shakur, right? Bro, this shit is crazy. This shit is all over the news. Fox 5 Vegas. This shit is all over all the news. Wow, bro. Let me play this shit for y'all. Hold on, man. This messed me up. When I heard this, you guys, hold on, let me say this. When I heard this fucked me up for real when I heard this, you guys.
A new witness list is out ahead of the murder trial for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur here in Las Vegas. Davis is charged with orchestrating the drive-by shooting that happened near Flamingo and Koval. Shakur died 6 days later. The trial is expected to start in 1 week on August 10th. Among those listed as expected witnesses, Marion Suge Knight, who was in the car with Shakur that night and is the only other surviving witness to the shooting, as well as Shakur's sister and former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman. Davis was arrested in Henderson in September of 2023, and he is the only person ever taken into custody in the case.
Wow. So Tupac's sister is set to testify, and some other guy. I don't know who he is, but they got Suge Knight, Tupac's sister, and let me see who else they said this was. I don't know who else they said this was. Bro, this is crazy, bro. Bro, what if Suge just get up there and just let it all fly? What if he get up there and start talking about, I ain't gonna say that. Bro, this shit is crazy. Hold on, let me hold on, y'all. Damn. I ain't want to think, bro. Bro, this shit woke me up this morning, bro. Damn. He set to testify, they saying. They saying he set to testify. Damn. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Hold on. Let me check something, you guys. Yeah, it's all over the news, bro. Fucked up, man. I don't know if is he getting something out of this. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. Yo, this is all over the news. Fox 5 Vegas, everywhere. The witness list has been released. So it's Tupac Shakur's sister, Suge Knight, and somebody else. Let me see who they say this dude is. Hold on, y'all. I want to see who they say this dude is. I want to see who they say this dude is again. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold on. Let me see who this is.
A new witness list is out ahead of the murder trial for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur here in Las Vegas. Davis is charged with orchestrating the drive-by shooting that happened near Flamingo and Koval. Shakur died 6 days later. The trial is expected to start in 1 week on August 10th. Among those listed as expected witnesses, Marion Suge Knight, who was in the car with Shakur that night and is the only other surviving witness to the shooting, as well as Shakur's sister and former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman. Davis was arrested in Henderson in September of 2023, and he is the only person ever taken into custody in the case.
All right, so the former Las Vegas mayor, I don't know why he would be testifying. I don't know why he's testifying. Suge Knight, Tupac's sister. I don't know why she would be testifying. Let me see. Hold on, I'm about to tell y'all this right now. Oh, I got it right now. I got it. Okay, you guys, let me read this to y'all. All right, so it says that Marion Suge Knight has been named on the official witness list for the upcoming murder trial of Tupac Shakur, the Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused of orchestrating the 1996 drive-by shooting of rap icon Tupac Shakur. The trial is scheduled to begin on August the 10th, 2026 in Las Vegas. Because Suge Knight was driving a BMW and sitting right next to Tupac when the gunfire erupted, he remains the only other surviving eyewitness to the assassination. It goes on to say, the official witness list, the Clark County District Attorney's Office formally filed a supplemental witness list containing over 200 names. God, dog. They got 200 names on the witness list, y'all. So let me get this again. Oh, okay, I got it now, you guys. I see what it is. I see what it is. Oh, shit. Okay. I see what this is. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. I see what this is. I see what this is, you guys. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
A week away from the long-awaited trial of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused of the 1996 killing of rap icon Tupac Shakur, which is days until the start of that trial. Prosecutors have revealed a list of more than 200 possible witnesses who could take the stand.
Damn.
News George Acosta breaks down who's on that list and what we know so far in this case. George?
We have Marie, that trial is set to begin next Monday, and some of the top names on the list.
So they saying they got a potential 200 witnesses. Man, that nigga ain't getting out, bro. That nigga ain't getting out, bro. Bro, they say they got a potential 200 witnesses, bro. That nigga ain't getting out. He ain't getting out, bro. That nigga is not getting out. They say they got a list of potential 200 witnesses. Bro, on everything I love. That nigga ain't getting out, bro. That's on everything I love, my nigga. That nigga's not getting out. Not happening. Not happening. 200 witnesses? Nah, nigga. Nah, nigga. Nope. He ain't beating that shit. I don't care what nobody say. He not beating that. Bro, you got 200 witnesses, bro. You're fucked, bro. Let's just put it like that and just say right there, man. They got over 200 witnesses, y'all. Right? Damn. Man. Wow. Man. Hold on, you guys. God, dog, man. My bad, y'all. Hold on 1 second, man. Let me play this shit. Hold on. My fault, you guys.
Of that trial, prosecutors have revealed a list of more than 200 possible witnesses who could take the stand. News 3's George Acosta breaks down who's on that list and what we know so far in this case. George?
We have Marie, that trial is set to begin next Monday, and some of the top names on the list include former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman and former Metro Police Sheriff, now turned Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. It was last August when Dwayne KPD Davis requested new legal representation following his conviction in a jailhouse fight earlier that year. Now, since then, his new attorneys have been racing to prepare for a nearly 30-year-old murder case that has faced repeated delays.
He wanted a trial team, and that's why we're here, and that's why we've been retained to represent him.
Yeah, I mean, we're not taking this case trying to win it on a technicality. We're obviously still getting up to speed on the case, but we anticipate it going to trial.
At the time, Davis's attorneys were preparing for a February 2026 trial. However, in November of last year, Davis's trial was delayed another 6 months.
Anytime you have a cold case, obviously there's concerns. There's degradation of evidence, loss of witness testimony. We anticipate challenging this case on those grounds.
Now, 6 months later, and nearly 30 years after Tupac Shakur was gunned down near Flamingo and Koval, the highly anticipated trial is finally set to begin, with prosecutors identifying nearly 200 potential witnesses who could be called to testify.
The idea here is that the state has the burden of proving it beyond reasonable doubt. We don't think that they can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Among the notable names listed within the 16-page court document recently filed by the Clark County District Attorney's Office include everyone from Shakur's friends and family members to even investigators and public officials, including former Las Vegas mayor and longtime criminal defense attorney Oscar Goodman, as well as former Las Vegas Metro Police Sheriff and current Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. And while prosecutors argue Davis has repeatedly confessed to the September 7th, 1996 shooting through public interviews and even a tell-all book, Davis's attorneys say those statements will be challenged at trial.
It's our understanding that the primary thrust of this case are his repeated claims to abandon the vehicle, his claims that he was in Las Vegas. Well, when you present a case to a grand jury, it's a very low standard. It's a probable cause standard. When you go to trial, it's the highest legal standard that we have in the United States. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. These statements that the context in which those statements were made will be addressed, and the reliability of those statements will be addressed.
What we're really talking about is specific statements, whether those were true, and what was the motivation for making those statements at the time in the full context that those statements were made in.
Now, Davis has pled not guilty to the charges presented against him. Now, the trial is set to begin next Monday, August 10th. But for now, reporting in the studio, George Acosta, News 3.
Bro, we gonna be covering this trial. This is crazy. 30-some years in the making, y'all. And let me say this to everybody listening to this video, man. Let me say this to everybody listening to this video, bro. Do y'all not know how long this has been? Do y'all not know how long this has been? I want y'all to think about that real quick. I'm just telling y'all this, right? And I'm just being honest with y'all, man. Right? Gene Deal's name is on the list. Wow, bro. This shit is about to get funky. This is about to get funky. Now, hold on, you guys. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, you guys. So the list have confidential personal information, law enforcement credentials, and records custodians in this list, right? So, wow, bro. Let's get hold on, you guys. This shit about to get disgusting, bro. Hold on, man. This shit about to get fucking disgusting. Hold on, you guys. I gotta see something. Hold on one second, man. Right? So I'm trying to, bro. I'm effed up right now, y'all. Wow, bro. They literally, when I tell y'all some of these names, some of these other names that they got on this witness list to testify in the trial. So they got, of course, I told y'all Suge Knight. Now let me talk about Suge Knight before I get to the other people, right? I want to talk about Suge before I get to all the other people that we know about, because it's a lot of people that I got named on this list that is going to be crazy work. They're going to put Keefe D down. They're going to put it, the names I'm seeing right now, they're going to put him down. So, you guys, despite being subpoenaed and expected to testify, right? Suge Knight, according to the reports, is now declaring that he's not going to testify against Keefe D. Right? He's saying he don't care if they subpoena him or what. Suge Knight said he's not going to testify. Even if they subpoena him, he ain't testifying. Right? That's what he said. 1,000% he said he would not testify. Right? From prison, he said this. He stated in a jailhouse interview with outlets like TMZ that he refuses to snitch or take the stand, even adding free Keefe D. He has publicly noted that he does not wish prison on his worst enemy. Suge Knight will not be walking into the courtroom freely. He is serving a 28-year prison sentence in California following a 2015 voluntary manslaughter conviction related to a fatal hit and run. So the person who asked me, why am I surprised? Well, you got to understand law. Because when you have what you call, ma'am, a hostile witness, like Suge Knight potentially could be, it is a daring risk to subpoena him and put him on a stand. See, when you learn law, this is why you will know what I'm talking about, ma'am. Your name is Desiree Fire, right? I am stunned, not because he was in the car, because Suge has already came out and noted that he did not want to testify in this trial. So, knowing that he came out already and said he didn't want to testify in the trial, the fact that they are ignoring that and still subpoenaing this guy lets you know, say it again, it lets you know, ma'am, that they don't give a fuck. They'll call him as a hostile witness. Now, his refusal to cooperate is compounded by the fact that he publicly disputes the prosecution's entire theory of the crime. The state's case relies heavily on the theory that Keefe D's late nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, was the shooter who killed Tupac after a casino brawl. Suge Knight has explicitly countered this claim, stating that Orlando Anderson was not the shooter and that authorities have the wrong people. Suge Knight has gone as far to say that Anderson previously came to one of his court hearings to tell the truth to help him. Now, as detailed by 8 News, now Las Vegas, Suge Knight is part of a high-profile, extensive witness list that includes government officials, Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo, who was a Las Vegas police officer at the time of the 96 murder, Tupac's family, his sister, right? And I'm going to give y'all some more names. Right now. I got a lot of fucking names, bro. That's going to be at this trial, bro. Bro, they're going to try to take Keefe D out, bro. So they are calling Suge Knight to testify. They're calling Reggie Wright Jr. to testify. They're calling Yusuf Ja to testify. Right? So let me tell y'all who these people are. It's Reggie Wright Jr., former head of security for Death Row Records. Yusuf Ja, an author who co-wrote the book Compton Street Legend alongside Keefe D. Remember, Keefe D said, I ain't even write that fucking book, dude. Gene Deal, we all know Big Gene. Shout out to Big Gene. Former bodyguard for Sean Diddy Combs, which that leads into a whole different situation. Because Gene Deal wasn't there that night. You got to ask yourself this question. Why are they calling Gene Deal? Why is he on the witness list? You got to think about this. There's some real shit now. Why is Gene Deal on that effing witness list? Shout out to Big Gene. Unless they looking at somebody else or they've been looking at somebody else. Because Gene wasn't there the night of the murder. The only reason why I could think that Gene would be called as an official witness is because of one other man. You guess who in the comment section. Who y'all think that other man is? Who do you think that other man is? Who do you think that other man is? Because if Gene Deal was not there the night of the murder, why would they need Gene Deal to testify? Why would he be on the witness list? Man, this shit fitting to get disgusting. This shit is fitting to get disgusting. Oh my, I can see it right now. I can see it right now. Then you talk about Mopreem Shakur. Mopreem filed a lawsuit and left other people in that lawsuit, wrongful death lawsuit, unnamed. And he wants to name co-conspirators. And we already know one of those people that he's going to name. We ain't going to say no names. Boy, this shit finna get nasty. Tupac's sister set to testify. His stepbrother, Mopreem Shakur. His cousin, Katari Cox. Joe Lombardo, the current governor of Nevada, who was a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officer at the time of that shooting. Oscar Goodman, a high-profile criminal defense attorney and former mayor of Las Vegas. Greg Kading, retired LAPD detective who spearheaded the task force investigation and recorded Keefe D's 2009 proffer agreement statements. The lead homicide detective, the primary Las Vegas investigator, will be there, who originally handled the 96 murder case, currently residing out of state and requested to testify remotely. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers, dozens of patrol officers are going to testify. First responders are testifying. Crime scene analysts testifying who processed the Flamingo Road and Colville Lane shooting on site in 96. Medical examiners who are still alive, forensic experts are going to testify. to verify the autopsy findings and ballistic trajectory. Boy, we're gonna find out everything about Tupac, everything that we didn't know that was hidden for all these years. This is legendary. A lot of y'all don't even know this. Records custodians, individuals handling sub-basement archives, historical media footage, and corporate documentation related to the events on September the 7th, 1996. This is wild work, man. David Chesnoff, an attorney, lawyer, a law partner of Goodman, right? Paula Clemens is on the list. Leonard Jefferson, the man who took the photo of Tupac and Suge before the shooting. Trevon Lane is on the list. Trayvon Lane is on that list. He was involved in the earlier MGM grand altercation. Rashina Smith is on the witness list, who's associated with Orlando Anderson. Documentarians and producers, Richard Bond, Mario Diaz, Mike Dorsey on the list, right? These are all people who are reported. Wow, bro. It has 200 names. Some of these people aren't even named because it protects their identities. They're confidential witnesses that won't be revealed until the trial. Wow, bro. Bro, they got 200 fucking witnesses that they're calling, but not everybody is expected. But when you are called and subpoenaed, you're called a hostile witness. Wow. Man, bro. And so everybody else is saying, bro, this shit crazy. We're gonna find out what really happened over these years, y'all. We're gonna find out, man. We're definitely finally gonna find out. We're gonna find out what happened, bro. I want to know what Gene Deal has to do with this. Cause I want to know, cause shout out to Gene, man. Gene a good dude, man. Shout out to Big Gene, man. The reason why I ask about Big Gene is because the situation with Big Gene is interesting, right? Right? It's very interesting because if Big Gene, if Big Gene, y'all know what Big Gene said he saw, but you got to listen to what I'm saying to y'all, bro. The shit with Big Gene is the most interesting, bro, because Big Gene was not there the night of the murder. So Big Gene, the only link he has to this is one link. He's only got one link. One. And we know what that link is. Bro. So the only reason why they could be calling Gene is if they trying to link somebody else. You got to really think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Right? So, bro, The article goes on to say this, you guys. I'm reading another article. It says Gene Deal, the former personal bodyguard to Sean Diddy Combs, strategic addition to the witness list because his testimony directly intersects with the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry and the alleged $1 million bounty placed on Tupac and Suge Knight. While Gene Deal was not present in Las Vegas on the night of the shooting, prosecutors are expected to call him to establish motive, address the validity of the defendant's confession, and flesh out a timeline of the Bad Boy Records entourage during the peak of the rap war. The primary reasons Gene Deal is being called to testify include one, corroborating or debunking the $1 million bounty theory. The prosecution's narrative heavily incorporates statements made by the defendant, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who famously claimed in past interviews in a 2009 proffer agreement that Sean Diddy Combs offered him $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight. As Diddy's right hand security guard at the time, Gene Deal has deep insider knowledge of Diddy's actual circle, movements, and private security concerns in '96, whether Keefe D or the Southside Compton Crips actually had physical or financial proximity to the Bad Boy Records camp. Two, attacking the defendant's credibility. Gene Deal has been highly vocal in public interviews regarding his skepticism of the state's case. Gene Deal has publicly alleged that Keefe D fabricated parts of his story, specifically regarding his late nephew Orlando Anderson being the shooter, in an attempt to monetize the tragedy and secure a cushy immunity deal. Prosecutors may call Gene Deal to examine him on these views, or conversely use his deep street level and corporate level insight to poke holes in any shifting defense strategies Keefe D's lawyers present at trial, establishing the atmosphere of the East Coast West Coast feud. To prove a first degree murder conspiracy, prosecutors must paint a clear picture of the lethal hostility between Bad Boy Records, East Coast, and Death Row Records, West Coast. Gene Deal is one of the few surviving individuals who lived inside the inner sanctum of Bad Boy Records security during the exact months leading up to the September '96 shooting. He can provide firsthand testimony regarding the high alert security measures, weapon access, and specific threats exchanged between the two camps, and also unifying the Tupac and Biggie timelines. Gene Deal was physically present in Los Angeles just 6 months later when Diddy's flagship artist Christopher, the notorious B.I.G. Wallace, was assassinated in March of '97. Because the two murders have long been investigated as retaliatory bookends of the same gang-affiliated music war, Gene Deal's knowledge of how Bad Boy responded in the immediate aftermath of Tupac's death proves critical context for the jury. Man, this shit getting crazy. And so you have to ask yourself, right? You have to ask yourself, right? And I'm gonna say this again, right? And, and I'm just gonna let y'all know what it is, right? Man, this is wild, bro. This whole situation, they got 200 witnesses, bro, that they're planning on trying to call. Some of those are going to be what you call hostile witnesses, meaning people who don't want to testify. But if you force them to come in court and subpoena them, I mean, you can't control what they say on the stand. Secondly, Gene Deal is fucked because not only did he tell the cops, and here's the thing people got to understand. To the person who says in the comment section they got no case, that's bullshit. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. Bro, the files that they had over all these years, once again, they got 200 people, and they're not even naming some of these witnesses, dog, because they're confidential witnesses. They don't want to bring them up until the trial, meaning some of these people gave statements. Some of these people talked over the years uh, during the investigation. Remember, none of this ever came out because the case file been sealed. The investigative case file been sealed. So everybody who was in the streets who gave statements against Keefe D or gave statements to the cops, that's all going to come out in the trial. So for you to say that, you don't really have a scope in what you're thinking about. It was so many people in the streets that they interviewed back then and talked to. Bro, you don't know what people told the cops. They got so many statements over the years and so many tips from people that now when it comes out, everybody gonna be like, damn, this person was talking, that person was talking. This is what you're gonna see in court. Then when you call witnesses, confidential witnesses that people might not even know still alive, right? Remember, this is the biggest case right now. They gotta try to and they gotta try to straight up close this case, right? Because they've already exposed in their paperwork that they have linked Biggie and Tupac's cases together, their murders together. So this is another reason why they would call Gene Deal. Plus, Gene Deal, like I said, he's one of the last ones that's still standing. So once again, and we never know the angle of what they may be trying to do, which is go a whole different route after this. So information from this case could lead to other charges. You never know, right? So Gene Deal, he's not being alleged in this crime. Gene Deal's being treated as a dude who's gonna come in that has information that could help aspects of their investigation, being that he was relevant and he was prevalent, you know what I'm saying, in that timeline, right? Right? Um, right? So that's why it's very important. That's why it's very important. Bro, this shit finna be explosive. This fucking trial, bro. I'm telling y'all this. This trial, bro, is expected, you guys, to last a month and a half, bro. That's how serious this shit is. This trial is expected to last a month and a half. This ain't no 1 week trial. So to the dude in the comment section who said that no case, that's bullshit, bro. Let me tell you something. You don't have fucking cases that go damn near 2 bumps and you ain't got no case. This case is expected to last a month and a half, brother. That's a nice size case, bro. That's a nice size case. That means you got a lot of witnesses, bro. You talking about a month and a half? Every day, a month and a half, Monday through Friday? Yeah, bro. They got a lot of fucking witnesses, man. They're gonna be going, what, 7, 8 hours a day? Yeah, dog. There's gonna be a lot of witnesses in this case, bro. So to the dude who said in the comment section, you just don't know who you talking about, bro. You don't know what you talking about. They're not gonna get Keefe D here, put all and go in there and put up some bullshit. Trust me. They coming with the gusto. This is the last, this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? Like Keefe D is the last one. If you don't get Keefe D, it's over with. So don't think they coming in here bullshitting, bro. Anytime they got enough to put on a trial for 6 weeks, yeah, bro, they coming with that smoke, man. They coming with that smoke. And out of the 200 witnesses, I expect them to call about 35 to 40 witnesses, maybe 50. Maybe 50. Because remember, in Diddy's trial, they called like what? 25 witnesses in Diddy's trial? Right? Right? Think about it. So if it goes the same distance as Diddy's trial's called 34 witnesses. Right? So the person said Keefe D's cooked, but they can't tie Diddy to it. Shit, you never know, bro. See, this is the thing. Here's the thing you don't understand, bro. Who was the informants that we don't know about? See, this shit gonna come out in court, bro. This is where you don't understand case law, bro. Over the years, the police, they've had tips, they've had statements over the years from people that was in the streets. They never brought this forward because remember, most of those people were dead. Most of the people died everybody died that was in that car except for Keefe D. So what did Keefe D do? Keefe D took that proffer where they wasn't fucking with him. But he kept talking. So when he kept talking, it fucked him up. Now, all that shit that was in that case file can be rehashed. Now you get to see what people really was saying. See, this is the scary part. Because now you get to see what the streets was telling the cops, nigga. Straight up. I'm telling y'all this. So if the cops back then, remember, they was busting heads in the street. The cops was talking to they probably talked to all these street niggas. And guess how many people in the streets, and I'm going to say it again, was talking to the cops. And the cops already said that they had plenty of witnesses that was in the streets that had talked to them, guys who wanted to get off drug charges and gave them information, things like that. These information have never been revealed to the public. You have to remember that. Craig Kading cannot come out and give you all the personal information in those investigations, in investigative files, right? But it's going to be a lot of information that's given. And I think this trial is probably going to go for 2.5 months. If they go to 50 witnesses, it's going to be 3 months. If they go to 100 witnesses, let's say they even call 100 of the witnesses, or the 200 witnesses, that's almost a 4 or 5 month trial. Some O.J. Simpson type shit. You dig? That's what you're looking at. You're looking at some O.J. Simpson type shit, bro. Right? That's what you're looking at. So to the dude who said Keefe D the informant, brother, you don't know who talked to the cops, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. You don't know who talked to the cops all these years, bro. A lot of niggas back then when it first happened, the cops said they already had a lot of information back then. You're not listening, brother. You said the 200 witnesses. Listen, bro. They already know what their witnesses are going to say. Most of them. That's why they're using them as witnesses, brother. Don't you think the cops got 30 years to put a story together and they going to come with some bullshit? Cut it out, bro. You're going to be hit with surprises you never knew about. I'm telling you, bro. There's a lot of niggas in the streets that they interviewed back then that gave up information, bro. Some of them niggas is dead, not even here no more. How do I know this? Because the cops said it. They said the guys in the streets was already giving them information back then. They was jamming niggas up on drug charges, and in exchange, niggas would give information. How the fuck you think a lot of niggas was able to stay on the street, bro? It's what you call informers, my nigga. Period. What are y'all talking about? Right? So I'm being honest with y'all, man. Y'all niggas is tripping, bro. If you think they coming with some bullshit, you tripping. You tripping, bro. What they're gonna do is this. Why I'm telling you what they're gonna do. They're gonna use all of Keefe D's interviews. Peep what I'm telling y'all now. They're gonna use all his interviews from when he gave the proffer agreement. Now that proffer agreement to when he did his interviews. And they're gonna line that up with all their witness statements from the past, all their investigative statements from the past. And here's the thing. Keefe D has always denied being in Vegas as far as when he got arrested. Before he got arrested, he swore up and down he was in Vegas. Before he got arrested, he swore up and down he was in Vegas before he got arrested. Peep what I just told y'all, right? Peep what I just told y'all. So, do they have any evidence that we haven't never seen that puts Keefe D in Vegas? If that's the case, we're going to find out. Because Keefe D was telling all the dialogue, he was giving very specific details. about who he was in Vegas with, who he was ticket scalping off of, who was getting him the information. He had all that shit, bro. So for you to come out here and act like, nah, nigga, that's bullshit. Because you don't think the cops went and talked to everybody that was out there at that time to find out who was out there? How the fuck you know? Because remember, Keefe D said when he went in the room, nigga, when Keefe D said when he talked to the cops, he said when he went in that room, he said he looked on that board, he said they had all that shit up on the board already. He said the cops knew everything already. He said, man, I had to not focus at that board. He said, because if you focus at that board, it'll fuck with you. The cops are, how the fuck you think the cops got all that information, nigga? Ask yourself that question. You said that to me in the comments, bro. How you think the cops knew where everybody was sitting at? Remember Keefe D said that shit to Art of Dialogue. He told Art, he was like, yo, when they called me in that room, nigga, he said, yo, I saved everybody, bro, because they had this big ass board, bro. They had everything up there. I'm like, how the fuck they know all this? How you think they knew all that? Informants, nigga. There was no cameras. There was no cameras. So how the fuck did the cops know where everybody was sitting in the car? Unless you had informants. Use your mind, brother. So for you to act like, oh, they ain't had a, bro, you better believe they had witnesses that put Keefe D in Vegas. Confidential witnesses. Keefe D put himself in Vegas. In them interviews, he talked about how he got his tickets. Guys he ticket scout from. You never know who the cops talked to over the years and got statements from. Those statements are admissible in court. So you saying that, bro, I'm telling y'all something. This whole shit gonna be bust open. We gonna find out a lot of people who gave information to the cops. Because think about this. There was no videos at that time on the streets to see who was in the car. How did the cops get all that information? Snitches. They bust heads in the streets and they got people to tell them what it was. That's why when Keefe D said, when they called him in, when he got busted for drugs and they called him in, he said that they had a big ass board. And he said when he looked on that fucking board and he seen all those names that was on that board, he was like, nah, this some bullshit. He was like, yo, they do this shit to fuck with your mind, bro. He was like, bro, they had everything on that board. So I'm asking you a question, dog. This is why when you say that dumb shit, like, you got to use your mind and think, bro. Like, use your brains and think, brother. Why would they say that? Right? If what we saying wasn't real, why would they say that, brother? Right? Why would they say that? Right? Why would they say that? Make it make sense, my brother. Why would they say that? Right? Peep the shit he was saying, bro. You got to peep the shit he was saying, bro. That nigga was saying a whole lot in them interviews, bro. He was saying a whole lot, bro. Listen to what else he said, bro. Shout out to my boy Art of Dialogue, man.
Okay, so y'all get back to LA. Tell me how that first day was. Y'all coming back from LA after the incident that happened.
Okay, we went on our to our spot in the South Side, and we there, and Big Reggie, he was the captain of the Compton Police. He ran the 4 o'clock shift. I guess he didn't even get to do his fucking roll call good. That motherfucker, he was on my street by 4:10 that day. He ran the stop sign. We got a street, and they got.
You're not listening to the brother who said they have deceased Michael Moore and Frank Alexander on the witness list. That's because their statements count in court. If they talked to the cops before they died and gave sworn statements, they can use that in court. Are you not understand what I'm saying? So, for example, if you go in and you get a cop's sworn statements and then you end up dead, your sworn statements can still be used in court because they were sworn. You feel what I'm saying? Meaning, so the cops called you downtown and say, hey, man, look, anything you say now, sworn statements can be used against you or used in this case. Boom. And you give statements, they can use your statements, right? They can use your testimony, right? I'm trying to tell y'all this. So this is why y'all gotta understand, like this shit deep, man. This shit real deep, my nigga. Real deep.
Got a stop sign. This motherfucker ran the stop sign. I'm talking about Reggie Wright Sr., captain of the Compton police. Pull up on the wrong side of the street, jump out. But when we seen him coming up the street, they had just started that key remote entry. First, you just had to, you know what I'm saying? But they had just started that shit. I think they started that in '96, and I had a Z71 truck. We threw all the guns in there before he got there. Well, I just locked the door and shit. But I had the windows tinted. He pulled up on the wrong side of the street, jump out the car. Hey, Keith G, let me tell you something, motherfucker. Like, what? He like, tell you something, motherfucker. You killed my son? Spell coming off, I'm coming to get your motherfucking ass. I'm like, nigga, fuck you. He like, I'm just telling you, motherfucker. Like, damn, he came to threaten my life. Like, I'm gonna kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that let me know that they told the first night. Suge Knight told the first night.
Did you hear what I said? So he said that in the interview with All the Dialogue that Suge told the first night. He's saying that. So guess what? If Keefe D's saying that, and let's say if Keefe D was saying the truth, that would be in the case files. So why would you then call a hostile witness like Suge Knight? You would call him because you would ask him about his statements if he made those statements Keefe D said he made. Keefe D on the Art of Dialogue said that Suge Knight snitched in the police statements. So if that is true what he said, which we don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true what he said, right? Suge Knight has said he's never snitched. So, but if that's true what Keefe D said, and they call Suge Knight as a hostile witness, they would call him and ask him about his statements to the police if he gave any. Because where did Keefe D get from that Suge Knight snitched on him? Remember, Keefe D said this shit. So I don't think people remember all of these things that happened, right? Listen.
First night. Because it was, hey, Keith G, let me tell you something, motherfucker. Like, what? He like, tell you something, motherfucker. You killed my son? Spell coming off, I'm coming to get your motherfucking ass. I'm like, nigga, fuck you. He like, I'm just telling you, motherfucker. Like, damn, he came to threaten my life. Like, nigga, I'm gonna kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that let me know that they told the first night. Suge Knight told the first night. Because it was the LA Times article. It said Keefe D nephew. So my Colombian connection, after Reggie did that shit to me, my connection called me and told me vinimos a Sepulveda and El Segundo. It was Sepulveda in Rosecrans. It's a Chevron gas station right there. And so I jump in the truck with him and shit. He unfolded the newspaper. Like, man, y'all did that shit? Like, no, dog. He like, man. And he like, man, y'all going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because the article, he pulled out that LA Times. Keep D nephew, you Tupac. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I hadn't seen the Colombian after then. So I really lost my plug and everything. So I was getting like 300-400 kilos from this dude. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see him after that, but he left me with his workers. So it's a different from being with the boss because the prices changed. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I really kind of got it fucked behind that whole situation. But yeah, that's what I had a bad day. It was a bad day that day, for sure. Had the fucking captain. That's the second man in charge of the police force. Then while I was out there meeting him, he had this little gang task force come raid our house, take all our guns and shit. There's just a bunch of dirty shit going on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Suge hired the police to do his hit. Why don't our gang get it up? instead of hiring the police, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so you wrong, man. That ain't no gangster shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but the police, as I knew from Compton police, one of our homies got killed that one day, maybe about 2 or 3 days later from that incident. And so that morning I came to the neighborhood, me and my homies was in the car, and the dudes I played football with at Compton High. Compton High is a Crip school. And they like, it was, his name was Robert Williams, named Blue. And the other one was the mayor of Compton, his name was Eric Perridan. They pulled us over. I'm like, man, best thing for y'all to do is stay the fuck out of Compton, dude, because we ain't with that bullshit that's going on down there. So they kept us safe, really. You know what I'm saying? Stay y'all ass out of Compton. They pulled us over and we had guns and everything. They didn't even take us to jail or nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a trip. You know what I'm saying? I guess they felt we needed them because they bunch of that crooked shit going on at that Compton police station. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Just take me through that week where y'all in LA and Tupac is in the hospital. Everything is on the news.
Yeah, that MTV man, he made me fucking sick. What's his name? Mike Lipkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker, that Moon Man. Oh, I hated that. You know?
But how was you feeling, man? Like Tupac being in there for a whole week, people saying he gonna survive,
How was I feeling?
Yeah, like how was you feeling? Like, because everything is on the news, there's rumors going around that y'all did it. Tupac is in the hospital fighting for his life. Just take me through that entire week where, all this is going on.
I'm a crip from the streets, bro.
Yeah, but this is a high-file situation, yo. Like, everything is on the news, MTV.
And I lost my mom at 15.
Right.
Been to the pen at 19. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't nothing I really, I didn't feel nothing. Shit. Just another day I had to keep it moving. Plus, I'm responsible for 300-400 kilos. Shit, that's just part of the business.
So what was your reaction when it was announced that Tupac passed away?
Was my reaction?
Yeah.
Shit, they did a raid the next day. I couldn't do nothing but react. You know what I'm saying? They did a raid on Southside and in the Mall Power Roots.
Tell me about that.
Oh, my homeboy, he do grease straps called crown greasing.
Mm-hmm.
That night he was out there getting his grease. They make gasoline off of used grease now.
Right.
Yeah, he run a grease company. So he happened to be coming in the neighborhood about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And he came knocked on my door. Like, man, it's a sheriff bus up there. Gang of FBI, Compton police, and the sheriff's up at the donut shop. They finna tear some shit up. I didn't even drive my car. You know what I'm saying? I told him, hold on. I jumped in the grease truck with him. And man, take me to the Metro Rail. And by the time I got to Watts, seeing all that shit on the news, like, damn, I got away. Yeah, but they had raided my house and my sister's house, Lane house. They raided a whole lot of people's house, matter of fact.
But the moment it was announced that Tupac passed away, what was your reaction and what was Orlando's reaction?
And we didn't let them see us sweat, you know what I'm saying? That's giving away the city, you know what I'm saying? It's like telling ourselves. She let me see them sweat, you know?
A war broke out in Compton, right? After the Tupac murder?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
We lost this dude. He was a Compton, he was Compton school police. He thought they thought it was a dude named Corey Owens. He came out, the red car pulled up, and they shot him like 30-some times. That's the day that the police had we pulled up maybe about 30 minutes after that, and the police pulled us over and told us, stay y'all ass out of Compton. We ain't down with that bullshit what Reggie and them got going on. I'm like, okay. This is the Crip police that I went to school with. You know what I'm saying? That I knew. He came and told us. But then on another one, another one of my homies got shot at the store. So then Southside went on an attack. We only lost one person. They lost about, they lost about 9 dudes, dude. We wore them out. They wasn't no competition, really. You know? There wasn't no competition. Right. So he really, he had the police doing his shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that ain't gangster, you know what I'm saying?
And see, what Keefe D don't realize, he just copped the 9 more murders, bro. Think about that. This nigga just admitted to 9 more murders. You don't think that they gonna cook his ass? He said, yo, we did 9. He said he admitted to 9 more murders. Imagine they got those murders, and they got those murders that ain't been solved. He don't solve the murders for him. He have admitted on tape that they murdered 9 of those dudes. You can't make this shit up, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all this. You can't make this up, bro. For him to say, go to court and say, yeah, this is all a script. I made that up. Bro, that's crazy. That means you'd have had to make up truth events. So let's say they had 9 dudes that did get killed. So Keefe D, how could he write a script and for something that's real? That or an event that really happened? Think about this.
And once they figured out they couldn't get me, they stick the people from downtown on me. You know what I'm saying? The big boys. That's wrong, man. Suge should have just kept this shit straight. You know what I'm saying? He should have kept this shit straight. I really didn't like that. He told the first night. Didn't nobody give me no grief or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They told the first.
He said Suge told the first night. See, this is all this. So when y'all wonder why they gonna bring down Suge, well, if they play these tapes and they say, hey man, well, what's up with all this, Suge? And if what Keefe D says has any truth, and they have proof that Suge did testify, then Suge would have to answer to why you said this. That is the reason why they would call Suge Knight. Because they would say, Suge, well, when we first interviewed, you testified to this. Well, why did you say if he testified, which we don't know, but Keefe D is saying Suge testified. So what if we come to court next week and find out that Suge testified, and they ask Suge, what about your statements you made at this time? Because they're not finna call Suge as a hostile witness for no reason, bro, to look stupid. If they call Suge, they're gonna call him because what Keefe D said had validity to it. So if Suge goes down there and says, nah, Keefe D ain't do nothing, and he originally did give statements, they'll use that against Suge and say, well, why did you give these original statements to the captain? I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying if he did, that's how they would come at him. People don't see and understand this stuff. It's right here in front of y'all face.
The first night, man, Keefe D, that's what the fuck you said my fucking name for? Trying to kill off the head of the snake, dude. Then they pulled over the 60 keys, you know what I'm saying? This boy Reynolds, that worked for Suge, he's on that right way thing. He pulled over my 60 keys, trying to get, you know what I'm saying? They trying to do anything to get me, you know? But I was sharp, or my knife was sharp, or, you know?
After the Vegas incident, right? You met up with Von Zup in LA, right?
Yeah, Hot Wings, LA Hot Wings on was that on Hacienda and Third? Or is that Melrose? Right around the corner from Pink's. I think that's Melrose.
Oh, I'm from Houston, so I would.
Oh, yeah. Melrose and La Brea right there at the LA Hot Wings.
So tell me about that. How that, came about and what was said. Because Puffy called too, right?
Yeah, him and Biggie's wife. What's her name?
Faith.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Them 2 calls and everything.
They just asked, was that us?
Who said that?
Puff did.
See? Now all this gonna come up in the trial. He said Puff asked, was that us? I'm just trying to tell y'all, man, this shit all coming up in this trial. Bro, this shit crazy, man. This shit is finally coming to it. I can't believe this is finally coming to a head, bro. What a whole world gonna see this shit. And y'all be wondering why niggas said the streets is dead, man. Bro, I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. Trying to tell y'all this, man.
I'm like, yeah. And Zip told him, yeah.
What about Faith? What did she say when she called?
That's who they was mostly communicating with. That's who the bond was, Zip was communicating with.
See? And he don't put Faith Evans in it. So who's to know if Faith Evans is a witness, a potential confidential witness in this case? Because they would have to confirm what he said about Faith. Think about what I just said to y'all. We don't know. A lot of these people are confidential. So to protect their identities. So if Faith is one of the witnesses in this case, and she comes and corroborates what Keefe D said, bro, this gets in this interview, this shit get real nasty, bro.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna tell you what happened, dude. I
Y'all
told
smash the
Zip
like button.
after Reggie and them raided our houses, big Reggie and them raided our houses, took our guns and shit. I told what's her name, Zip, that we needed some fucking guns, get us like $10,000. And everybody took that shit and took it through the moon, blew that shit up, buffalo us $1 million. And you know what I'm saying? That's how that started. The dude next door neighbor that got killed, his name was Corey Owers. He was in one of them dudes in the van with us. And he the one started snitching. Once they killed his fucking neighbor, he got scared and shit like that. Got to snitching like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Talking about that was the gun in the flower pot that killed Tupac. Shit, where you watched that movie? You said with the dog with the gun in his mouth.
Right.
You didn't see that part?
Yeah, I seen that part.
That's bullshit. You can't even see Compton backyards from the street. It's like that. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That shit is all fabricated like they was protecting his ass. But he did all the snitching. You know what I'm saying? Dirty motherfucker. And I trusted him. He's one of my number one workers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He just turned out to be a weak motherfucker, you know? And they raided his house in 2001, got a gun out of a flower pot. And he said, that's the gun that killed Tupac. And Greg Cade and that task force, they believed that shit. Then in that ensemble, they met him at the restaurant and tried to arrest him there. He was out. That was bullshit. He was already working with the feds. You know, bunch of bullshit.
Suge Knight, he tried to pay off Orlando Anderson to testify, right?
He didn't try to pay. He did pay him more.
How much?
There you go right there. In his statements, he said that Suge Knight paid off Orlando Anderson. Bro, this man has came into public and told. This is a public statement he made that Suge he claims Suge Knight paid off Orlando Anderson. Remember when Orlando came to testify for Suge? So we tried to help Suge, but Suge it backfired. He still got found guilty and got sent to prison because he violated his his probation. Yeah. So he sat up there and told everybody, yeah, Suge paid Orlando. Like he gave that information up. Right? Think about this now. Who else has said that in the public like that? Only Keefe D.
Gave us like $60,000.
So tell me about that.
One night I was at home and nephew called my phone and said, come up to the lawyer's office for 2 guns. So I go up to Edie Fall office with the 2 guns. I get there, it's Suge.
So they met after the Tupac murder, he says. He says that him and his boy, had 2 guns. They went up there and Suge is up there. So they saw each other face to face, he's saying, after that murder. Peep this shit now. That's crazy, bro. Face to face after that murder. Peep game now.
Sergeant Reynolds Little Reggie keep on saying it was him, but it wasn't him. I know you from your daddy, dude. That was your daddy. Showed up at the what's the name? Showed up at the office, gave us $60,000. It was to say that he didn't kick him and stuff like that, but it was really to get us up off their ass, cause we really wore their ass out. We wore them out, dude. There wasn't even no competition. And he even said it himself. He said we weren't ready for y'all.
And even though Orlando Anderson testified for Suge, Suge was still found guilty, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we got like $60,000 for nothing, for free. But it was really to stop that war. You know what I'm saying? He even said it that night. His homeboys wasn't ready for us.
Okay. So okay.
But Suge, know. I know he didn't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? I know he didn't want that to happen at all. You know, before he even got there, they was already with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he wouldn't have let that happen if he would have been in it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm quite sure he wouldn't have let that happen to my nephew. You know, yeah, he just came at the end and just joined in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So as I told y'all this, right? This man again. So when they call Suge, y'all see why they call Suge. This is the reason why, right here, bro. This is the reason why I keep trying to tell y'all this, man. You know what I mean? Like this guy right here, man. He said some shit, bro. It's crazy, man. Like when you think about it, in the end of the day, bro, I'm just looking at it like, man, this shit right here, bro. I ain't never heard no shit like this ever, bro. You know what I mean? And then Keefy D said, I ain't no, he said he not a gang member no more. But then he said this, he told the cops on the interview, I mean, he told the lady in the interview 2 days ago that he wasn't a gang member since '89 and all this shit. But then he said this like recently, a few years ago. He said this. They gonna tear his ass up in court, bro.
Puffy, out of curiosity, why you think Puffy haven't been arrested for conspiracy?
Who they conspired against?
I mean, he put a hit on Tupac and Suge. I mean, even if he wasn't serious, he still said it. And the people he said it around ended up killing Tupac, which was y'all.
I asked them to get us some money for some guns.
Right.
All the little bottom fruiters told the police that, homie. So what I'm gonna change the story for? Suge them told the first fucking night.
But even with Suge, they came to Suge.
Reggie went told his daddy. Why his daddy would come to me the next day?
Right.
They went told him, man. They told.
But that's the thing.
But they don't get no grief. You know, this QBD saved his family, saved all his homies. 48 people was going to jail. They shredded the indictment because I told them the story. Told them what happened. I'm the only mother. I told on myself. Ain't nobody go to jail did a day behind me. So they say what the fuck they want to say. They better not say that shit in my face.
But you don't think that's weird that everybody is getting messed with, but nobody ain't messing with Puffy?
Believe me, they was on his ass too. I knew they was because they was on me. I did 5.5 years. Every month they came up there on me. Serial killer. You don't know what you got on your yard. Ooh. Very dangerous man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I used to go tell them, go fuck themselves. Get up out of here. You ain't got shit. You ask you, you put me in jail. Motherfucker, you ain't getting out. They had the major crime unit from the FBI, LA district. John Gotti would have went to jail in LA. The same people would have got his ass that was on me. Matter of fact, they took down the Green Reaper.
Right.
But the Green Reaper, y'all seen that dude?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the same dudes took him down, dude.
Mike Tyson, how you feel about him saying that he wish he had 5 seconds in the room with Tupac killing?
And I only need 1 second with you, dude. Well, you better leave me the fuck alone and keep boxing, dude. You a boxer. You guys not no fucking case. All of a sudden, everybody want to be killers now. Man, knock it the fuck off. You a boxer. I seen him. At the mall at the fashion show out here in Vegas. They was about 15 deep. And this big crip dude named Jerome Williams, one of his bodyguards. I I went the other way just to keep the front function down because I know Jerome would have like, keep it in, what up, my nigga? And Mike Tyson would have, but Mike Tyson used to hang with Zip. I'm that same dude that you came over there in the Jordantown Housing Projects on the four-wheelers to meet. You and Zip on the four-wheelers. Y'all had on your overalls. I'm the same dude. I'm not like you don't know me. You don't want to fucking you lose your life behind no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Mike, leave that shit alone, dude. Keep on boxing. More power to you, bro.
So the white Cadillac, it was 4 people in the white Cadillac. It was you, Dre, Orlando, and Terrence Brown. How did Terrence Brown pass away?
He was at a weed place, and he was a security there. And people came and robbed, killed him and the owner.
What about Dre? Is it true that he died over obesity?
No. Yeah, he had diabetic. It run in his family, and he had went blind from diabetic. It run in his family. He wasn't obesity, you know.
Orlando, he died at a car wash, right?
Yeah, and these dudes that ran off with this dude ordered a half a key. Big Dre took it to him, and he went in the front door and went out the back door with a half a key. And he going around telling everybody that he took some shit from us, and they happened to see the dude at the car wash. And they went over there and killed 2 of them. And when Lane was backing out, they said that a lot of people at the car wash were shooting at the truck. And that's where he got hit at when he backed out. He was backing up out of the car wash.
How you feel about that when that took place? Like, how did that make you feel?
It was a double dose. The day before, the feds did a sweep on me and my cousins. Took like 70 people to jail. Then the next morning, my grandmother passed away like 3 in the morning that morning. Then I was talking to Orlando on the phone at MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center downtown. I was talking to him on the phone. Then we went down to count time. And Chapo showed up in my room door. I had seen him already that morning from my grandmother. He showed up about 4:30 on count time. Like, man, I need to talk to you again. Like, what? And he like, your nephew just passed away. So it was a double dose. I went to jail. They took my freedom and all my shit. You know what I'm saying? I was a bad 2 days. Back to back. Whammy. Took all my whole crew to jail. Everybody. 70 people all over the country. So that was a bad 2 days for me.
So yeah, man, he been saying this shit, man, all over, everywhere, bro. He been saying it. You know what I'm saying? He don't win at Puff over this whole situation. Everything, bro. I mean, you can't make this shit up, bro. They're gonna have a field day at trial, bro. Keisha, what up, baby?
You really feel a type of way about Puffy not reaching out to you, man. I can tell by talking to you that you feel a type of way about it. So nobody from Puffy team reached out to you?
No. Hell no. I did time for the brother, everything, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't even send me a suit, man. That's bad. I seen this other dude named Fleetwood, ran into him. He like, man, Puffy send me $20,000 worth of clothes every season. I said, for real? Yeah. But no, he never reached out to me or nothing. And don't look like he won't ever reach out to me. Yeah. I met him. I met him back in like '91. He was doing an Usher video, My Way. You know what I'm saying? My Way. No, not My Way, but Can I Get With You? That was Usher's very first song. And they called my hydraulic place, and that's to use some lowriders. So I let them use my phone. We took the car up there. Usher danced all on the hood, on the window door. So it was a big old dent in it and shit. So I took it up to the paint shop, man, and they like, Man, we got to paint the whole car. So Puffy reimbursed me with that. That's where I met Puffy. Puffy, everybody think I met him through Zib and D-Mac and stuff like that. No, he called and asked to use my lowrider for an Usher video. Can I get with you? Usher got the little Laker uniform on. He had school. You know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can I get with you? Yeah. That's how I met Puff. And he wound up kicking me like $4,000. Paying $4,000 to get the car repainted. Yeah.
What makes you say you lost your empire because of Puffy? Why you say that?
I did. Shit. If I wouldn't have never met him, I wouldn't have never been involved in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If I would have never met the brother, I would have never been involved in this bullshit. Really. Because me and Suge was playing on the same Pop Warner team and everything. My homeboys helped put Suge in the game and all that shit, you know? And it really crashed two people's empire that fucking one night. You know what I'm saying? Mine's for sure. Suge's too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. So you feel like Puffy, he's the reason for your empire and Suge empire going down because of the whole situation with Tupac.
Exactly. He the only one still balling. Shit. Yeah, he made our shit go down, man. Yeah, I ain't even met him over. He won't even look out or nothing. You know?
So break that down, man, for the people out there that don't know the backstory. What did Puffy do exactly to bring down y'all empires?
Because he pitted us against each other, it seemed like. He pitted us against each other. You know, which was kind of smart because we're Crips and Suge was Bloods. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just called me and Zip was rolling up Greenleaf one night. He called and asked, you think it's safe to come out here to do our concerts? And I just said, man, give me like 50 tickets to each concert and we'll be out there with you. We'll go with you. We went to the concert in San Diego, went to the concert in Anaheim, Irvine Meadows, and the one in Las Vegas with them. Yeah. And back then they was just a startup coming up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really have no money like that. We were balling. We was bosses for sure. I know I was a boss. My whole crew was bosses. I made bosses all over the country, like I said. I even made some bosses in Boosley Town. What you up, Baton Rouge? I got a couple of homeboys out there.
So as I told y'all, man, this shit is crazy, man. So most def, man, y'all let me know what y'all feel. It's going down on Monday, man. Day one, we will be covering that trial, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.